So, for those of you who don't know me already, I'm Kat from the Wild Alaskan Company recipe team. Today, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make a crispy fish sandwich. So this is a crispy breaded fish sandwich, not a crispy battered fish sandwich. If you have breadcrumbs, if you have some flour, if you have an egg, you pretty much have all the makings for a very quick, tasty afternoon meal. In my opinion, this is way better than something like cold cuts or some type of deep fried fast food fish sandwich. Not naming names here, but we all probably have had a fast food deep fried fish sandwich before. So I'm also going to mix up a basic tartar sauce. It's something you can make very easily with things that you probably have in your fridge. Sandwich, tartar sauce, quick lunch. For this fish sandwich, I'm actually going to be using ling cod. Ling cod is a white fish fillet. It is not actually cod. It has a similar brown stripe that cod has, but it's a little bit like maybe like finer grained. So it has a more delicate feel than something like Pacific cod. It's also lighter than something like Pacific halibut. Pacific halibut's super hardy. This is gonna have like a more delicate texture. I actually love using ling cod for anything like a fish stick or fish sandwich. I really like breading with this because it's firm enough to hold together with the texture combination. It's just really good. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna get this fish ready. We're gonna do a basic method of dredging this piece of protein to get it breaded and coated nicely. First thing I want to start with, I went ahead and patted it dry. That is just something standard practice if you are used to cooking fish to get any excess moisture off the surface of the fish. To this, I'm going to do some light seasoning, a little bit of salt. You can also season the flour that you're using to start breading this, but I like to put it on the fish just so I know how much is actually going onto the fish, if that makes sense. When it's mixed into the flour, then I kind of don't know if I've put enough, if I put too little, how many of the flakes are actually making it to that fillet of fish. Doing a little salt and pepper on both sides here. While I'm in the middle of this, I'm going to preheat my pan. I'm using a deep pan. I'll have enough space to flip in here. This is not ideal for me. I wish this was a little bit smaller or shallower, but I like to use something that has a little bit less surface area on the bottom when I'm doing something that it's not a deep fry. It's kind of like a shallow fry. I'm going to add just a little bit of oil in there, maybe like 1/8 of an inch, so that it's not going to be fully submerged. It might be 1/4 of the way submerged. So when you have less surface area in the pan, you'll be able to use less oil. It's just me not wanting to waste so much oil on fish. So I'm gonna get that just going here in the background. All right, back to dredging. I typically will try to reduce the amount of kitchen mess and plates I'm creating with this. So, you know, if you're doing something that's an assembly line, a lot of times you'll have a plate of flour, a plate of breadcrumbs, and a plate of egg. I like to just sprinkle on flour. That way I know I'm not using too much flour. I don't have to dump a bunch of this out. And then I can use this plate for breadcrumbs here in a second. Does that make sense? Just trying to be efficient. So got this just for my single solo lunch of a fish sandwich. No matter how careful you are, you end up getting flour everywhere when you do this. So I have that. Next, I have just an egg whisked together. I'm gonna do flour, egg, and then finally, we'll go back to this plate here. I like to put on a little layer of breadcrumbs. You can use panko breadcrumbs or regular breadcrumbs. These are regular because it's what I had. Panko is nice because it makes it nice and crusty. So just getting some of that excess egg off of there. I have a little bit of breadcrumb underneath and I'm going to sprinkle some on top. And that should be plenty here. Get some nice coverage. That looks good to me. Has my fingers covered in breading too. Delicious. But now that this is ready, we can just set some of these extra plates aside. I'm gonna go ahead and add some oil to the pan here. I have it over medium heat. We're not doing a sear, so we don't need this to be screaming hot. This is just something that we want to have. If you're measuring the temperature of the oil, something around 350 is good. And I have a decent amount in the bottom here. I'll wait for this to start shimmering. The fillet probably will need 3 or 4 minutes per side. Like I'll flip it once and we'll just keep an eye on how golden it's getting to understand if it's done or not. That's usually a pretty good indicator for something like fish. Ling cod gets super flaky. I'm not so worried about overcooking or undercooking here. Looks like this is probably about ready. And you'll know it's ready when you hear a sizzle. So anytime you're putting fish into a pan and hoping it's hot enough, just hope with your ears because that's when you know it's actually ready. And if it's not sizzling, just be a little more patient or raise the heat. All right, I hear some sizzle. I see bubbles, so that's going in. We're just gonna keep an eye on that here in the background. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this. Ooh, this is getting a little brown. If you find that your fish is getting a little dark a little quickly, this is not burnt, but it's a little brown for me. I'm gonna go ahead and turn down the heat just a little bit. It'll be nice and crunchy here. I think we're about done here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off. I have a little paper bag that I bought my bread in. So I'm just gonna use that little paper bag to have the fish drain here for a moment. It is blazing hot right now, so definitely not gonna take a bite until I have a minute for that to cool. Here's my beautiful fish. I'm gonna go ahead and start toasting some bread. All right, in the meantime, we're gonna make a very quick tartar sauce. So I have here, I've got a Japanese mayo, a little bit of minced garlic, some chopped up pickles, finely diced red onion, and whole grain mustard. I'm also gonna add in just a little bit of honey for some sweetness to offset some of this tang here. And this will just mix together. And this is all to taste. So if you want things to be a little sweeter, a little more mayo-y, less pickles, whatever those qualities are, add a little bit of lemon juice to finish this off. Just adjust it to your liking. And then when you're done mixing this up, give it a taste. If you want to add salt and pepper, you can. I feel like this doesn't need it, so this is perfect. Really zippy from these pickles. The pickles I added are very vinegary, so it was perfect for this, and the honey helps to balance some of that out. So that is going to be delicious once I put this on some bread. So these are very lightly toasted brioche buns. I like to put onions on the bottom roll, do a big heap of tartar sauce down here. Yum. Nice and saucy. Then we'll add this fillet of fish. I don't love lettuce on sandwiches, on like a hot fish sandwich, so I'm actually just gonna add some of the pickles that I had chopped up for my sauce. Add another layer of tartar. I'm gonna put this bun on top, and then this is going to be impossible to eat, but this is a delicious homemade fish sandwich on a roll. So let me see if I can do this gracefully. All right, this looks perfect. So we have super flaky, saucy fish sandwich. You can see all these individual flakes. It's like falling apart in my hand in the best way possible. So good. Really not that difficult to make. A really fun lunch to have. I would love to have lunch like this every day. This is way better than a fast food fish sandwich or something like, I don't know, deli ham, in my opinion. Thank you for coming. If you're around next Wednesday for what I think is our first ever sablefish event, but I'll be making a super simple but ridiculously tasty miso sablefish recipe. I hope to see you there. Thanks for hanging out. Live wild.